guys, it is the ASMR Bookshop here, and welcome to another video. So in today's video, I thought I'd do more of a reading video. As you know, this is primarily looking at books on this channel, but we don't really do much reading, so let's actually do a little bit of reading. So we're going to be looking at the Observer's Book of Architecture, and just reading about that. Some of you may find this boring, which is probably what I want, because I want this to help you with sleep and stuff like that, and relax. But I'll have more food videos and hard candy videos and stuff like that coming out soon, more trigger videos. But with the book today, we have a crackling candle. As you hear, I hope you guys can hear that, but just get the mood set. So let's dive into this book. It's a little book, it's a tiny little book. Lovely, I think I got it off eBay for a couple of pounds. As you know, I'm into architecture and buildings and stuff like that, so I thought this would be an interesting read, and we can look at some different types of architecture from all the way from the 1200s here to modern day. So let's get into this. So, the early English period. This is the earliest phase of the style known as Gothic. Gothic was a term of derision implying barbarity given to medieval architecture by the classicists of the 18th century. It is difficult to imagine a more inappropriate word with which to describe the great engineering feats that were the cathedrals of the 13th and 14th century. But the names has stuck, and having lost all its original meaning, is now used quite without any intention of disparagement. The early English style of building covers that period when England was becoming more settled, when the distinction between Norman and Saxon was becoming less marked, and when complete autocracy of the sovereign was smashed by a community of nobles who must already have felt themselves to be English. The Crusades of the 12th century had enabled the Normans to learn much of Eastern architecture, particularly of the Eastern military engineering, in which the Saracens excelled. Intercourse with the continent of Europe was constant, and new ideas developed there were immediately used at home. It was during this period that the high ideology of the church became fully developed, the intense desire for salvation in the next world. Coupled with an awful fear of damnation, gave rise to preoccupation with life after death that had probably not been equalled in the world since the days of ancient Egypt. All actions were coloured by their imagined effect on the chance of salvation, and heaven and hell were no mere figures of speech, but very real places for one of which all mankind was inevitably bound. Outside the body of the church, no one could write or read, so medieval buildings symbolized their religious beliefs in wood and stone, making their churches and cathedrals dramatized representations of their ideals and incorporating in them such incidental and picturesque stories from the Bible as could be rendered in carving and stained glass. The early English buildings made their churches as austere as possible, a symbol of organisation of the flesh and of worldly riches. They built their cathedrals as high as they dared, a symbol of man reaching to heaven, a church that would stand head and shoulders above the surrounding landscape, dominating the wrenched hovels that men lived in, a symbol of the power and strength of their faith, soaring above the poor earthly creatures at its foot and showing a promise of mystic. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. The camera battery ran out of charge, but I've sorted it now. So I think we were left off from such inspiration came the dark tall cathedrals and the austere and simple parish churches of the 13th century. So as you see here, some early English cathedral designs here and early English parish churches here. So obviously the cathedrals are tall, and if you've ever been to cities, you'll see around Europe, you'll see tons of massive cathedrals, really cool looking, really like just amazing structures. There's another one there, that's a big design. The monastery. Very nice, very nice. So, the greater security of the country and the better organisation of the church led the clergy to seek finer ceremonial to grace their services. This was in itself an incentive to great church building in order to make possible the full beauty of the ritual. The large amounts with which the monasteries were endowed enabled ecclesiastical buildings to be undertaken on an ever-increasing scale. The church at this time owned as much as 1/5 of the land, and the importance of the monastic establishments can hardly be emphasized, quite apart from being the centers that fostered the all-pervading influence of religious thought. The monasteries had almost the entire monopoly of learning such knowledge of medicine as existed, the most up-to-date theories of agriculture, and above all the science of architecture. Were all the exclusive properties of the monasteries, no major development in the structural principles of medieval buildings, with the possible exception of timber roof, was due to any but their influence. A large monastery consisted essentially of the monastic church, the cloister, the chapter house. The sacristy and the living quarters of the monks after the dissolution of the monasteries, the monastic church often became a cathedral. The living quarters consisted of dormitory, the refectory, and the kitchens. So I think we're gonna stop the video here. I will bookmark this amazing learning about it. But that is it for today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed. I really hope you could relax in this one with the candle and the reading. This was just fully reading, not really chatting. We'll do a chatting video soon. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you are new to the channel. Please give this video a like if you did enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.